Well, Sonic Racing Crossworlds has been out for about a month now, and I've put a good 25 hours into it, so I thought I'd give my thoughts so far on it. Now, I'm not a huge kart racing guy. I've never been able to get into Mario Kart 8 or Crash Team Racing or Team Sonic Racing that much, so I was a bit apprehensive paying $70 for such a type of game that I might not actually play that much. But thankfully, I have actually found quite a lot of enjoyment with this one. Now, I'm not saying I didn't find enjoyment with Mario Kart 8, and albeit I am talking about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I think I put a lot more time into Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, but I did eventually get tired of it. These games have a sort of lifespan with me, if it's really, really enjoyable, it'll have a longer lifespan, but no matter what, I'm gonna get tired of playing the same tracks all the time. Kart racing gameplay is not something that appeals to me. It's not like regular Sonic gameplay where I can kind of play it infinitely because it's just so inherently fun to me. But all in all, I can tell you this is a fantastic kart racer. It has a lot of content, both in the single-player and online departments, and it really does not skimp on the features for the most part. Honestly, the only thing missing is a real, single-player adventure campaign, but honestly, if we took all of the money that would have been spent on poor voice acting and put it into something better, like another track or a cup full of tracks, or another online mode, or developing DLC, I think it's honestly a fair trade. Now, what does the game actually have in it? Well, in single player, you've got the classic Grand Prix and the time trials and the race park. Now, the race park is recommended to be done co-op, and, I understand why. The race park is team-based activities, and so, of course, you might want actual people to play with. However, you don't really need to do the race park unless you want skins, because the online mode has festivals that happen which force you to play the race park modes anyway. Now, the Grand Prix are about what you'd expect, 4 races to a cup. However, there are only 3 courses in the cups themselves. Now, what does this mean? The 4th course is essentially a run-through of all the other courses, 1 lap on each, adding some variety to that. Now, this is possible because of the crossworld mechanic, which basically means in the 2nd lap of any race, you are going to be sent to a completely different track to do a lap. This could be another full track in the game or a dedicated crossworld, such as Cyberspace or Sweet Mountain or Starlight Carnival or something like that. A lot of Sonic locations are given reference through this, even really obscure ones like the Golden Temple from Sonic Chronicles, which is strange because I thought that game was in legal limbo, but I guess if you just kind of ignore the game it's from, it's fine, or you don't have any iconography from it. But anyway, the crossworld mechanic is really, really good. And honestly, that's probably what's kept me engaged for so long, because admittedly, these tracks are short. They're short and sweet, actually. That is what I can say, because these tracks are really good, but they are quite short. And if I had to do 3 laps on any of them, I think I might actually get really tired of them. However, having it broken up by the crossworld track really does help in allowing the game to just have some more variety in the Grand Prix, in online races, in everything. Now, what does the Grand Prix give you? Well, there is a rival system attached to it, which gives you some unique dialogue with certain character combinations, not all of them, of course, and especially with the DLC characters, and beating every main rival once will unlock you Supersonic, which you can use to play in the Grand Prix mode only, which honestly does suck because, you put in a lot of work. You have to play 23 Grand Prix to unlock Supersonic, and then you don't even get to play him in a time trial or online or anything. I think that is dumb. Now, of course, this is because Supersonic is literally invincible, so it wouldn't exactly be fair to play him online, but, my point still stands. It kind of makes the rival system a little worthless, and honestly, I'd say in general, the rival system is kind of worthless because it doesn't even actually offer you that many, unique dialogue opportunities. There were combinations of characters I really wanted to see have dialogue that Sega just neglected to do. Namely, I think one that was really obvious was like Rouge and Sage. I was really interested because, again, Rouge was kind of involved in like SA2 and more of the, Robotnik family dynamic that Eggman uncovered in that game, and Ian Flynn, being a very caring writer, might have actually referenced that, and of course, he didn't. There wasn't any dialogue there. It was a basic placeholder thing, and that just really kind of sucks, honestly. I think there was a lot of missed potential left on the cutting room floor for that. However, of course, the rival system doesn't matter that much in general. It's just kind of for ticket grinding or to have a little flavor, I guess, after every race, or really just after 2 of the races, because, yeah, the rival doesn't even talk after, like, the 2nd or 3rd race. Now, the time trials are much more interesting because unlike a lot of other kart racers where time trials are just kind of a thing for those people who care about them to do, here there's an actual ranking system attached. A ranking system which gives you unlocks in the form of music, which can be played in a jukebox, albeit a limited jukebox, but a jukebox nonetheless. And these time trials can be brutal, and they expect you to use some of the gadgets in the game, which is the main progression system, which is developed over the course of the, playing the Grand Prix and playing online. You level up, you unlock gadget plates, and through your online ranking, you unlock new gadgets to place in those plates. I think this system is okay. I don't like it from the standpoint of, again, if someone has an optimized gadget plate, they will win. I don't think they're as balanced as Sega might have hoped they would be, and I think that's just something they need to, work on in the future. Maybe if they make a second one 5 years down the road or something, maybe you get, like, a gadget plate system that's a little more balanced, or maybe you just remove it entirely. Replace it with some other form of progression that's a little less intrusive, because honestly, being able to spawn in with a certain item does give people a little of an unfair advantage. However, with how fast the mainstay player base seemed to really get their skills locked in, I don't know that it matters that much. In any online race I go into now, I get, like, utterly trounced. And I think that's indicative of a hardcore player base that's developing, and I think the game has succeeded in, doing that. But back to the time trials. You unlock music for getting, like, A ranks. Now, there are S ranks, of course, but you don't actually have to get them even to get, like, the Platinum Trophy or anything. But the A ranks are necessary, and those A ranks are actually quite difficult. I've only gotten a few of them, and some of them have been very frustrating. They expect you to, know the track, boost through certain things with the Wisp capsules that are on the tracks in the boost mode, and, they're just really, really tough. They expect you to practice and know how to do it, and I do appreciate that. There is a lot of single-player content kind of hidden in this game that a lot of other kart racers don't have, and I appreciate that. Now, in terms of online offerings, you do have private matches, which is great. And those private matches, you can have just one friend in it with you, and you can fill it up with bots, and you can have, like, a normal race where everybody isn't sweaty. That's great. And then you have online races where everyone is sweaty, and you can play against really, really hard to beat people. Now, when a new character comes out, they will usually put on a festival, which essentially replaces the standard world match with a festival where you have to play race park modes to gain points in a sort of, like, almost like battle pass sort of situation. Not a, you don't have to pay for it, but it's the same sort of progression. You win a race, you get, like, 35 points. You win, you lose a race, you get, like, 15 points. And I think they've kind of addressed that by making the point totals of the losing teams a lot higher, actually, so people aren't slogging through these rewards. And that actually might make me play it a little more, because, you know, I didn't actually appreciate, when I'd lose because my team was filled with people who were obviously, like, 6 years old or something and didn't know how to play a kart racer effectively, and I'd lose because of that. It didn't feel good to get, like, 3 points on this, like, 1,000-point long board, you know? It really did feel like a luck of the draw thing. But I will say, regardless of how, how good they make the progression system, I don't appreciate that the festival mode actually replaces normal matches. And I know that's because they want people to play the festival and engage with the system, and so people who actually do want to play the festival aren't left in super long queues. But man, when you had that, like, Hatsune Miku festival, and then, like, I swear it was the next weekend, you had the Minecraft festival. That felt kinda stupid, because, again, maybe I don't have that much time to play during the week. So I play on the first, like, launch weekend, I play in the Miku festival. I'm like, wow, that was great, but I'm tired of festival gameplay. Then I have, like, college and stuff during the week. I don't have too much time to play games. And then I come back during the weekend and the next weekend, and oh look, it's the Minecraft festival. Oh great. I don't want to play these team modes, but I have to, because it's like the only thing around that, or I just don't play the game at all. So I think if anything is going to improve, it should be that. But overall, this game is great. I think even though it's $70, I think if you really enjoy kart racers, you will have a fantastic time with it. And even if you don't enjoy kart racers too much and you're in the same camp as me where they're fine, I think you should give this game a shot when it goes cheap. I'd say $30 is probably a fair price if you don't think you're going to get more than like 10 hours or something out of it, because, there's always the possibility that you find you really enjoy how this game plays specifically, and you really stick with it for a long period of time. But, that really is up to you. This is just my opinion, and of course, yours can be significantly different. So I suggest, if you want to, and you like kart racers, or you get partial enjoyment, go and try it out when it gets cheap, or it inevitably goes on PlayStation Plus in a couple years, and, you might have a good time. But until then, have fun.